Legislation and governance to government and state-owned enterprises. China's economic development has reached a point of no return, resulting from a complex interplay of various factors that perpetuate a vicious cycle. From my perspective, I'll briefly discuss how the entire country, from legislation and governance to government and state-owned enterprises, has deteriorated due to the lack of public oversight over those in power. 1. The formulation and implementation of laws and regulations are neither fair nor just, often influenced by the self-interest of bureaucratic elites. These elites commit four sins: evading responsibility, controlling the populace, exacerbating grassroots conflicts, and protecting their own class. 1.1.1 When creating laws and regulations for grassroots enterprises, they disregard China's context and the execution costs borne by the people, layering on additional requirements. These regulations become virtually impossible for small businesses to comply with, covering areas such as labor, environmental protection, taxation, and production safety. In case of accidents or disputes, the authorities conveniently shift the blame and punishment onto these struggling businesses. Almost no small enterprise can fully adhere to these provisions, leading them to hire accountants for off-the-books practices. Violations and falsified records hang like a sword of Damocles over their heads. If a rift occurs between a business and the government or inspection officials, this sword falls mercilessly upon them. While this harms long-term planning for companies, the bureaucratic elites exploit this situation to their advantage. 1.1.2 Investigations into counterfeiting and fraud are complex and result in lenient penalties, increasing the likelihood of corporate malpractice, e.g., the Sanlu milk powder scandal, Evergrande's financial woes. Such chaos raises the cost of vigilance between enterprises and the public. As netizens have astutely pointed out, bureaucratic elites breathe the same air as us, so they crack down on air pollution. Yet, they turn a blind eye to food safety issues while enjoying exclusive delicacies. Let's consider our materials industry as an example. Falsification may involve quality or quantity discrepancies, and verifying these before use is challenging. Once the upstream supplier signs off on delivery, they gain an advantage. If discrepancies are discovered, they can simply claim a mistake and refund the difference, or even avoid a refund altogether. Consequently, when our company receives materials from the upstream supplier, regardless of weather conditions, we must allocate 2 employees and the driver to spend 4 hours verifying and supervising unloading. Similarly, when we ship downstream, employees spend 4 hours on verification and supervision, 2 hours on round trip. These processes consume a full day's work for 2 employees, yet they don't add value to the materials or production. Company profits remain low and employee wages are meager.